So this morning you had taught me the Shankaraparanam Ragam. Charya. So the normal thought process is that raga alapana is an improvisation, right? That you have your imagination and manodharma, which will help you to expand and sing the ragam and explore the ragam in all its scope, right? So how does this fit into that thought process where you have a structure and you're actually teaching me how to sing a raga alapana? How does that work?
So you're asking me, how can a subject which is creative, the creative aspect, the manodharmam aspect of Carnatic music is number one is alapana, and how is that being taught? Or
correct?
Should I have to structure it and make it into mine, or make it into my own alapana? How can it be taught? How is it going to be helpful? You're asking me.
Correct.
It's a very good question. Like, I would like to explain. When I was in the growing stage, I always had the impression raga alapana is being taught. Because my father comes from the Trivandrum school.
Okay.
And as everybody knows, Kerala is very, very popular for its alapana singing. In the Nadaswaram players are Katom, Sangeeta Vidwangal, they assess always an artist's merit through alapana.
Okay.
Here, if I come in Chennai, people assess the artist's merit through Mumurtigal Kirtana Padandaram. So there is two ways in which you have to show your expertise. You have to
see.
On that way, for me, learning alapana is in the structure. But since I grew up in Chennai, I go out for competitions. I go out with all my friends, my colleagues. They had a different idea that raga alapana has not been taught. You have to figure it out. You have to fix it. If it has been taught, then you are a parroting. You are not original. Like, so what is there? You are just learning and just coming and repeating. I had the answer much later. But as you say that we follow our gurus and whatever people say, we don't mind. So slowly, I also started teaching, and I also started learning in the higher level. I understood the Trivandrum style or the Kerala style of teaching raga alapana is not trying to give you the creative aspect. They are trying to teach you or make you understand the ragam Shankarabaranam through phrases which are independent of swaram and sahityam and talam. On its absolute sense,
right?
They are going to teach you the core structures, and how it is being built, and what are all the creative area which can be inserted in between, and what is it that you can give in that ragam as in a creative. So many things we can.
I see.
So many things are learned through learning a raga alapana.
Right. Okay. So then it's almost like you're saying the raga alapana is one of the ways in which you learn about the ragam.
Yes.
Just like you learn through a song or through a varnam,
yes.
alapana is one more way in which you learn about the ragam.
Yes.
Right. So, so is there a stage that a student has to reach before which you can start teaching them the raga alapana, or even the teaching of the structure can be dependent on the stage of the student?
Very good. Yeah.
So either way, it is either the student reaches a stage, or depending on the stage the student is, you decide how much of the structure to teach.
Yes, yes.
How does it normally work?
So both works. Like as far as I have been given the raga alapana from my father, he had a clear idea. Like with all the students, with all his students, he will teach a varnam in the ragam and a small kirtanam And the small kirtanam will be always the Thyagaraja's disciples, all those, or Papanasham Shivan. The big kirtanam will be Thyagaraja's second Kallai kirtanam. After reaching that stage, it will be around 4 or 5 years, I think, in a student's journey, musical journey. At that time, they will start the raga alapana. My father taught me with very basic line, basic sangatis like na 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 na, like na, and the valavu and the gamakamla basic level. Na na, that's how it is started. He taught me. And also, he will not teach me all the ragas. He will only teach me 2 ragas. In fact, I remember learning Kalyani and Shankarabharanam for 2 years. Only the basic. So his idea was, write the structure in your mind, like writing a kirtanam or writing the complete format will be written in your learning. So that was it. The one more other way you ask me is, yes, the teacher also has a way of extracting it from a student. That I had the good fortune of learning that also.
I see.
In a very strict teaching of Trivandrum, Sri R. Venkataraman sir. And with Venkataraman Mama, he had his way of extracting from you. Like he will not agree. The effort has been put by you will always be not accepted when it is not come up to his level. I had a very difficult way of cracking what he's trying to teach me. My way of teaching is clubbing both. I personally think that raga alapana is something very beautiful. You don't need to extract or you don't need to be taught. It has to be experienced by the student. So if I give them the experience, I think they will go and do it in a much more joyful way. This is my maybe. So I think standing on their shoulders, that I had the way of teaching. That's what I try to give it to you.
So then the next thing is that if you have now taught it to me like a structure, right? And like you said right in the beginning, where does the creativity come into the whole thing? Because finally alapana does have some amount of creativity. It is not all structure.
Yes.
Right? So I should be able to have my individual creativity also shown in that, either within that structure or around that structure, or inserted, like you said, in between.
Yes.
Maybe layered at different levels. So how does one work on that? So are there stages? Now that you have taught me this, is there more work that I should do in certain areas? Or
very good.
How do I go about working on that creativity in me?
Yes.
In order to,
So, let us take it. Let us take it this way. To go into the world of creative music of Shankarabharanam, how much creative I can be with Shankarabharanam? Right? That question. How much creative I can be with Todi? How much creative I can be with Kalyani? If I say 99% you can't be creative, because the ragam is like a devate. But you can be creative in the way how you produce through your own voice. And finding out certain places you can never be creative, like the ending points. Ipo angala creative பண்ணவே முடியாது. சங்கராபரண அப்படிதான் முடியும். அந்தங்கெல்லாம் creativeலாம் பண்ண முடியாது. So சில areas you know exactly where you can go creative, where you cannot go creative, where you cannot be creative itself will give you a big
I see.
It's like learning swimming. So you will not get drowned. So you know the markings where all you can go with Shankarabharanam, where all you cannot go. And when they are teaching, they have a beautiful way of constructing and giving it to you. Like in the morning I taught you like that's the part where you can put it is a permutation and combination of swaras depending on that space. Ipo na mage re sa ne re ga ma ga nu vechikalam ma ge re sa ne re ga ma ga, then afterwards a lot of things you can go into that. No creative. That's fixed.
Okay.
So that itself will give you a lot of space to think and not repeat. Actually, raga alapana na indiki onnu paadna naaliki adu mari paada koodadu. That is also a rule.
Okay.
Small changes kuda it should be there.
Okay.
So adella vandu it will come naturally to you. With the learning it's like speaking the language.
Right.
If I say that you speak the English language with so much of fluency, and that fluency is again it looks like creatively. Like how much ever you go and go to a place and give a speech, there's a lot of work which has been done. But if you know the language and it looks more creative and it looks.
Correct.
But they have a lot of work has been done.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a beautiful example, because it's also like when you take the example of speaking, you can say that where you're putting your emphasis on the words, what kind of a tone you're using, which can change day to day.
Yes.
Depending on the audience, you can change.
Exactly.
Right. Depending on how big or small the event is, the same speech can change.
Absolutely.
Right. So all that is where
for a Shankaraparanam ragam, I can sing for 1 minute.
Yeah.
And 2 minutes or so. If for AR performance, how much you can. So all those things are again as time is a creative thing. Yes.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Correct. That's beautiful.
That's a nice point.
Yeah. So I think now there's quite a fairly better idea of what it is to learn raga alapana, why we learn alapana, and how does improvisation come into it.
Yes, definitely.
I'm really happy to share this.